to Play Store, then download and install the BIP app. Then you go to More at the bottom right of the screen and click Discover. After that, search for the BLIT channel and click Follow. Type Hi into the text box and click onto the topic you want to watch and learn away. That's it, learners. Not so difficult after all. If you have any questions, head to our Facebook page for additional information. See you next time on BLIT.
Hello, thanks for joining us for the Midday News. The inaugural Papua New Guinea Asia Investment Conference at the Kowloon Shangri-La Hotel started at 8 a.m. this morning, Hong Kong time, that's 10 a.m. PNG time. The theme of the two-day event is Partnership for Prosperity. According to today's program, the President of PNG Chamber of Mines and Petroleum, Anthonis Mare, started the event with the welcome remarks to be followed by keynote addresses from Prime Minister James Marape and Acting Commissioner of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of the People's Republic of China, Daksha Ling Yongsheng. The second session, entitled PNG Minerals Power in Asia, will see presentations from the Vice Minister of Mining, James Donald, and Metallurgical Corporation of China Limited, Kumul Minerals Holdings, Penthouse Limited, and XCMG PNG Engineering Machinery Limited. Later presentations will be based on PNG Engineering Power in Asia with PNG Vice Minister for Petroleum and Energy Thomas Opa. The final part of the day, one session will be on the enduring success for Asia investment in PNG. Today is the Food Day. World Food Day is an international day celebrated on October 16th every year. The day commemorates the date of the founding of the United Nations Food and Agriculture Organization in 1945. The theme of this year is Water is Life, Water is Food, Leave No One Behind. Water is essential to life on Earth, but this precious resource is not definite. People worldwide must not take it for granted. The Fresh Produce Development Agencies Limited, as a government entity, is mandated to develop the food and hot agriculture industry in PNG. FPDA is celebrating the day at Arab Dal Station outside of Leh in Morobe Province. The program will include the participation of students from Tanam SDA Primary and Arab Primary. FPDA will also be presenting food and gift of City Mission, Engau Provincial General Hospital, and Buimo Corrections Facility.
FPDA, we are in the business of developing fresh produce in Papua New Guinea, and it's an opportune time for us to at this kind of special event, special moments, we'd like to show everyone that the food that we deal with is not just anything, it's an important thing that nourishes families, communities, and everyone.
The Rabaul District Administration has empowered its 4 local level governments to be drivers of development by presenting 250,000 kina each. The financial support will facilitate the implementation of the projects and initiatives in the LLGs and its wards. This funding is part of the 1.4 million kina allocation from the 2023 district budget, which was approved by the District Development Authority Board earlier this year. The 250,000 kina checks were presented to Rabaul Urban, Kombiu, Balanataman, and Watom LLGs. Additionally, a check of 26,000 kina was handed to Balanataman to purchase land for the Malanguna No. 2 Community Hall. The LLGs were urged to use funds strictly to their intended purposes. In regional news, thousands of people have gathered in Melbourne at a rally to support Palestine amid the war.
People gathered at the State Library in the middle of Melbourne and they're currently marching towards the State Parliament. People are chanting for freedom and for Israel to get out. The speakers told the crowd Palestinian people aren't going anywhere and neither are we. There have also been chants of from the river to the sea, a term that is considered by many as anti-Zionist. People here have raised concerns about a humanitarian crisis in Gaza, about ongoing blockades, and there are also worries about impending attacks on that area. This is the second rally like this that we've seen here in Melbourne, and this one is bigger than the original, which was held on Tuesday.
Years of protest by small climate vulnerable nations have finally put critical reform of the global financial agriculture high on the agenda of major international organizations and developed market governments. But a COP28 climate conference in United Arab Emirates this November and December will be the true test of whether the talk leads to action. Biman Prasad, Fiji's Deputy Prime Minister and Minister for Finance, told Global Markets believes that the anger and advocacy of some of the vulnerable countries, particularly small island states, is being noticed. He is hopeful that a lot of discussions within groups like Commonwealth will fit into this overall attempt to reform the global financial architecture. Vulnerable nations are therefore looking to COP28 climate conference taking place in Dubai in December. At COP27 last year, countries reached after a decade of debate an agreement to establish a loss and damage fund to help develop countries with the effects of climate change. The categoric rejection of Voice of Palestine, Parliament model, has yes campaigners reflecting on what went wrong. With their years-long quest defeated, many ask where next for indigenous rights.
The Yes campaign championed constitutional change, hailing it as a solution for generational disadvantage.
We struggled with our messaging and it got no cut through. It was quite niche and bespoke, and the general Australian just couldn't comprehend what exactly it was.
Campaigners now reflecting on the public rejection.
They have not voted no because they're racist. I categorically reject that. They have voted no because they think there's a better pathway than constitutional enshrinement.
I think there was probably an element of racism. I think there was a lot of bullying and other misinformation that was peddled out.
The No campaign's messaging proved potent.
They've said no to division within our constitution along the lines of race.
But their claims remote communities didn't back the Voice appear untrue. At remote polling stations in Queensland, Western Australia and the Northern Territory, support was high.
They wanted change, they wanted recognition, they want governments to listen to what's happening.
During this debate, both sides agreed on one thing. The gap should be closed for Indigenous Australians. The shorter life expectancy, the employment and educational divide, unacceptable.
We need to start looking at solutions to improve the lives of our people. We need to roll our sleeves up, and that starts today.
For more than 20 years, 7 Prime Ministers have tried to find a way to acknowledge Australia's first people in the country's founding legal document. But this rejection could be the final chapter for constitutional recognition. Now, some will argue for a legislated voice, but it's not clear if there's community support. The push from both sides of politics to now focus on closing the gap will be just as challenging. There's no easy solution, and it will require the government to listen to Indigenous communities.
Fiji's Prime Minister Sitiveni Rabuka has announced a strategic reassignment of ministerial portfolios. The reshuffle is intended to enhance governments, improve policy coordination and further improve service delivery to the people of Fiji. The ministerial reassignments will become effective Tuesday 17th October 2023. These strategic changes will reflect the government's dedication to fulfilling its responsibilities to the people of Fiji and ensuring that the nation continues on the path to progress and develop. And in sports, led by 4-try effort from Nene McDonald and Zach Leibert's double, Papua New Guinea Kumuls made a commanding start to their 2023 Pacific Championships on Saturday afternoon in Port Moresby, cruising the Cook Islands 46-10. The Kumuls were in devastating form in the first half, leaving the Cook Islands to scramble, leaving no rooms as Kumuls romped in the first 40 minutes with 6 tries, a double from Zach Leibert, Robert Darby, Epel Capinius, Valentine Richard and Nene McDonald for a 30-0 doubling at halftime. Cook Islands, to avoid a scoreless first half of the Pacific Bowl Championship, managed to cross 2 tries and a successful conversion, registering only 10 points for the day, as the Kumuls added more points to finish in style 46-10. The injury-hit Cook Islands team face Fiji Bati on Sunday 22nd October. Here are the rest of the Sunday's highlights. That's all for now. Join us at 6 this evening for the main news.
Hi, I'm Darren Robertson, an expat POM.